Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Wednesday, February 12th, and Donald Trump is still, by far, not even close, the best president in American history. Patriots, it is good to be back with you. Hell, we were just together less than 12 hours ago for an evening show. Now, a lot of you were giving shout outs in the chat over the new hat. This will only be worn for night shows, folks, okay? It's dark MAGA. We got to make a light MAGA, I guess. I got to get the white one. But nonetheless, had a blast hanging out with everybody last night. I don't know about you, but I had a good damn time, man. I had a really good time hanging out with you last night. So thank you to everybody that joined the evening podcast, the evening show. We're going to try to do more two-a-days. Well, if you didn't join us, that is uploaded for you on Rumble and YouTube. Go hang out with us. Go check it out. I think you'll have a good time. We're all cracking up and laughing and crying, and we're just having a good time. Well, enough of that. We got a shortened day because I have a meeting at very close to 7:30, so I got to get out of here. X-nay about 6:50. We'll see. I always say that, and then I go long, right? Then I screw myself over. Well, here we go. This is the breaking news that happened yesterday. Big news. Big news. King Abdullah of Jordan agreed to accept refugees during Trump White House meeting. Folks, we were told when Trump was like, I'm going to take over Gaza and make it like the Riviera. We were told by everybody, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. I mean, hell, the whole brigade over there in the Middle East was like, yeah, no, we're not going to take in the Palestinians. We're not going to do that. And then I said, well, he's meeting with the King of Jordan like next week. Why don't we just hold off? Because I said this, you all were in the chat with me and you guys said it too. Trump is good at negotiations. He's the king of negotiations. I think Jordan might actually accept refugees. Well, here we go. Now, remember, you got to find somebody in a bunch of countries to, you guys are ridiculous in the chat, to take in 1.7 million. He's not going to do that, but let's break down the article here so that we're at least informed. So King Abdullah II, and hopefully I'm saying that correctly, of Jordan visited President Donald Trump at the White House on Tuesday, where the Jordanian king agreed to accept refugees into his country. I'm sure there's some sort of caveat here, right? The meeting comes after Trump made repeated demands for Jordan and Egypt to take in refugees. Now, if you're not into geography, if you're looking at a top-down view of Israel, Jordan would be to the east of Israel, and Egypt would be to the south of Israel. Basically, like our Mexico would be Egypt. So that's why you'd want them to accept refugees, because I'm not saying it's an easy trip, but it's right there. Whereas then on the east side of Jordan, you have Saudi Arabia, and then north of Jordan and Saudi Arabia would be kind of like northeast, I guess, of Jordan, and Saudi Arabia would be Iraq. The meeting comes after Trump made, again, repeated demands. Trump and Abdullah met to discuss issues, including Trump's Gaza proposal, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, ISIS and al-Qaeda, and economic cooperation. The king and crown prince of Jordan arrived at the White House around noon just yesterday, where they both attended a bilateral meeting and lunch with the president. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also attended the meeting, the first official encounter between King of Jordan and President of the United States since Hamas and Israel agreed to a ceasefire. Trump greeted the king outside the White House on Tuesday after the king was met with White House honor guard. He's a great man. The president took one brief question. A reporter shouted a question asking whether Saturday is still Trump's deadline for Hamas, and Trump said yes. So if you're not informed on that one, Trump gave a hard deadline where he said, if they're not out, all hell's going to break loose. And he even agrees that Hamas is not going to meet the deadline. So we're going to see what happens Saturday. Again, I mentioned this before, folks. Trump said this very similar statement before, it was either before or right when he was elected, somewhere around there. He said, if they're not out by a specific time, all hell's going to break loose. And it might have been before he was actually sworn in. So Joey might have still been in office. Well, they started releasing hostages, but Trump doesn't want that. Trump wants hostages out now. And folks, we were here. I said the same thing. I said, look, the negotiations is Hamas gets to live. That is the negotiation. That's it. Yeah, you get to survive. We're not going to blow your house apart. How about that? That's it. That is the negotiation. You get life. How about that? So we'll see. But if they don't do it Saturday, if Trump says all hell's going to break loose, you better see some serious shit, or else people aren't going to take you seriously for the next 4 years. This is not something that Trump could take lightly here. And I hope he's serious about what he's saying, because like I mentioned, you could really shoot yourself in the foot for all future negotiations for the next 3.5 years. During the meeting, Abdullah expressed delight at being able to meet with Trump soon after the president's inauguration. Mr. President, I truly believe with all the challenges that we have in the Middle East, I finally see somebody that could take us across the finish line. Look at that. What a statement. You never saw Joey getting that, did you? That can bring stability and peace and prosperity to all of us in the region. I think it's our collective responsibility in the Middle East to continue to work with you and to support you. What a statement right now. Could he be bluffing? Sure. King said he is open to coming up with solutions to serve the interest of all parties. I think the point is, how do we make this work in a way that is good for everybody? I agree. Obviously, we have to look at the best interest of the United States and the people in the region, and especially my people of Jordan. Abdullah offered to take 6,000 sick children from the Gaza Strip almost immediately. Hey, look, 2,000 out of 1.7 people, million people are going, well, that's nothing. I agree. But here's the thing. You need some negotiation. You need a little bit of movement here to start getting everybody else a little bit on board. When people start saying, hey, Jordan's taking in some sick, we could do this too. Then you're going to get Egypt, right? And then you might get some Saudi Arabia governmental officials meeting and wanting to take in people as well. And then, maybe the faucet starts trickling out a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit more. So we'll see. Hey, it's a puzzle piece, and Trump is trying to craft the puzzle piece. That ain't easy, man. This ain't easy. And the fact that he's able to pull this off after Jordan was so adamant about not taking in anybody, at least he has sick children. And it looks good for Jordan taking sick people, especially children. God, it's awful over there. It's awful over there, you guys. So good on that. A little bit of an update from what happened last night. So if you weren't with us, again, we did an evening show. We're doing 2-a-days. Not every day. Don't hold me to that, folks. I work 3 jobs, okay? So I get a little tuckered out. I got to bring the energy. I don't want to give you a show. Some of you pay, right? Some of you offer money, like Travis Cobb here with the $2. Another beautiful morning with Bald Brad community. So much winning. Thank you, Travis. Always in here with the donations. I appreciate you. The donos. I don't even know where the hell I was at. Oh, a lot of you give your hard-earned money to the show, so I want to make sure I bring the energy. You don't deserve somebody going, oh, well, here's the news. Wow. All right, here we go. Update from last night. We were curious on what Luna Paulina was talking about after we were all done salivating at looking at her. Now, if you're one of the sisters in here, one of the patriot women, we hooked you guys up to last night, okay? We played both. We played fair. Well, we were curious, what was she talking about last night when she said, hey, we're going to hold a big press conference coming up here, and we're going to talk about transparency. We're going to talk about conspiracy theories, because if you can be more transparent, it will remove the conspiracy theories. So here we go. Now we know what really everything's going on here. And when I say, fucking buckle up, put on both seatbelts, folks. I don't care if it's the cross or just the down parallel straps, but you got to put them on. Because Luna to lead new House Disclosure Task Force. We're going to get the JFK files. We're going to get the motherfucking Epstein list. And we're getting UFOs on the table. Oh my God. I'm living the dream. I'm still on the high from the election. Somebody wake me up. This is everything I've wanted. Government's being audited. Government's being exposed. Democrats are being exposed. We're fixing the Middle East. We got immigration handled. Now I can't even talk. I'm losing my breath. I'm so excited. And now we're getting JFK files. We're getting the Epstein list probably by next week or 2 weeks from now. And we're going to probably hear about UFOs. I don't know I think that's everything I wanted, to be honest. Lower taxes we're going to get. I mean, I can't think of anything else. Write your wish list in the chat. I mean, what else do you guys want, huh? We can't be greedy here. Craig goes, the CIA's fucking with Brad's likes. Yeah, probably. Well, we have here House Republicans announced on Tuesday the creation of a task force geared for the investigation and declassification of covert government materials, ranging from the assassinations of prominent figures in American history to the origins of COVID to UFOs. Let's be fair, we know the origins of COVID, okay? We all know that one. That one's not going to get us. But everything else I'm really curious about. Oversight Committee James Comer, who has a book out, by the way, you guys. I just want to highlight that. I forgot the name of it. But he has a new book out right now released that talks about all the money that Joe Biden's been kind of funneling around the globe into his own bank account. So that's out there for you, folks, if you want to check that out. Declared that Representative Anna Paulina Luna will lead the task force of declassification of federal secrets. Just weeks after President Donald Trump signed an executive order declassifying the assassination files of former President John F. Kennedy, former U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. For too long, the federal government has kept information of public interest classified, and the American people are demanding greater transparency. Correct! The secrecy has showed distrust in our institutions, Comer said in a statement. The task force will build on the Trump administration's efforts to declassify records of national importance and ensure Americans get the answers they deserve. Representative Luna is committed to shining a light on truth and ending the era of secrecy. It's time to let the sunlight in and finally provide answers to the American people. Has long been demanded. It's so good. It's so good. So we'll see. We'll hold our feet to the fire. I want this. It was signed on January 23rd, so less than a month ago. And Trump said a lot of people have been waiting for years, for decades, and everything will be revealed. Good. Well, let's hold his feet to the fire. You also have this. Luna was first elected to the House in 2022 and has been a key player in bipartisan inquiry in unidentified anomalous phenomena, which is basically UFOs. And what's interesting about that is that's something the UFO conversation is something both Democrats and Republicans actually want. I mean, remember, Chuck Schumer was actually involved in getting into the UFO conversation as well. And if anybody knows me in the show, I love a good conspiracy theory. Doesn't mean I believe in it. I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat. Maybe we got some patriots wearing a tinfoil hat right now, right? Taking out their fillings so we're not bringing up radio waves in our head. But I like them, just don't believe them. I like the adventure. I like the adventure of it. Kind of like what I'm seeing right now with the Trump administration. I'm like all adventured on right now. You know, I got my hat on. I got my cozy coat on. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the adventure of the Trump administration. And damn, it's been an adventure so far, has it not, Patriots? If you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like button, folks. We do this every single morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And some people want some updates on that TikTok video. It's still going, man. We're still getting like, I think I've gotten almost 6,000 followers from that one video alone, which is freaking bonkers. Over 200,000 views. It's blowing up. For me, that's blowing up. Well, we got some other great news. It's just, this is what we needed. More, and more. Trump administration has secured the release of Mark Fogle, American teacher imprisoned in Russia. It's amazing all these hostages that Donald Trump's getting in, right? It's amazing what he's getting done here in less than 3 weeks. Joey had 4 years to pull this off. 4 years and couldn't do it. Trump walks in. Done deal. Easy. Joey could never. No, Joey couldn't, Trump. Joey couldn't. The Trump administration has successfully negotiated the release of American teacher Mark Fogle from a Russian, penal colony? He's 63 and was given a 14-year sentence for possessing medical marijuana in 2021. Why would you even, I mean, it's medical, I get, but you know you're in another country, man. Come on. An employee of the Anglo-American School of Moscow, Fogle spent 27 years teaching overseas and was planning to retire the year he was arrested. An American doctor prescribed the marijuana after Fogle had surgeries on his back, shoulder, and knee. Fogle's release was negotiated by Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff. Fogle was flown out of Russia on Witkoff's private jet. The New York Times reported it's unclear what the United States offered. That's what I want to know, what they offered to secure Fogle's release. Because if you remember, we traded a really bad dude for Brittany Griner. Y'all remember that one? Brittany Griner didn't want to stand for the American flag, was probably one of those people that wanted to stomp on it, all this crazy stuff. She definitely wouldn't stand for it, right? Well, now all of a sudden we trade off some big bad guy for her, and he's going off probably doing the same crazy crap, selling arms, killing people. Who the hell knows? So, look, if we're going to say we're going to be transparent, folks, We got to know what the trade was. Now, here's the caveat to that. There could be a good reason as to why Trump doesn't want to reveal the negotiation in terms of what he was willing to give up, or I guess in what Steve Witkoff was willing to give up, is because there's more negotiations to be had. There's more hostages around the world. And when you can keep a sense of secrecy on what you're willing to offer somebody, well, that gives you the upper hand on future negotiations to get terrorists out of Gaza, to get hostages out of Gaza, to get hostages out of other countries from around the world. So I get the sense of secrecy here, but when it's all said and done, I would really like to know what we gave up to get these people out. Was it money? Was it more people from our end giving it to them? Was it bad people? All that stuff. So we will see. Hopefully Trump does reveal that at some point in time here. So good on them. And I actually do have some video of that. Let me go ahead and get that queued up. I apologize. I thought I did have it queued up, but it is on my X page. So if you guys aren't following me on X, just let you know, that is our page, baldbrad1776.com. Might as well toss that in the chat. Plug my own stuff. Look, I'm by myself. I do this 100% by myself. So this is what we got going. And we have a book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. That is there for you. So let me bring up here we go. So here he is arriving. Here's what this looked like. Wearing the American flag, baby.
President Trump greeting Mark Fogle, that is Steve Witkoff, who flew to Russia today, met with Vladimir Putin, and the president meeting him outside the White House, where it is snowing in Washington as we speak. And obviously a very happy moment for him. He's draped with an American flag. Our own Brett Baer is with us. Brett, this is a sight to see. And you know, without getting too overtly political, which is a little bit hard for me, as you might know, but, you know, you have to wonder, I mean, why wasn't Biden able to pull off deals like this?
Look at this handshake right here at the very end. Look at that. The full, you know, this guy means he loves Trump. He loves America. When he got off the plane, he actually kissed the earth. He kissed American soil. This is how stoked this guy is to come back. You didn't see Brittany Griner do any of that, right? No, sir. But look at that, coming in the full cock of the hand, just, oh, yes, sir, I love America. Thank you so much. So he comes into the White House, because you can't keep the guy out in the cold, right? He's been in freaking Russia forever. And this is what we got here.
Right now. And,
is he drinking a beer? God, that'd be freaking great, dude, if he was drinking an American beer. God. Look, there's only one other thing that would make this more American. Not just him with the president, right? Freeing a freaking American hostage with the American flag draped around his neck, having a cold brew in his hand. But damn, give that guy an all-American cheeseburger. It doesn't get any greater. And then cheering Trump like a Coca-Cola commercial. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
I want you to know that I am not a hero in this at all. And President Trump is a hero. These men that came from the diplomatic service are heroes. The senators and representatives that passed legislation in my honor to get me home are the heroes. I am in awe of what they all did. My family has been...
Hold on, I want to give the guy a shout out. I want to pause it. I think it's worth it. Always in the background, doesn't want the freaking limelight, which is great. Here he is right there. Good for him. That's the guy that did it. Marco Rubio needs to be present because he's Secretary of State. He's the one that's also handling this stuff. So good. A great team here. Great team. Look, Mike Johnson, he's hanging in there for now. We'll see if he actually keeps up his end of the bargain, but right now he's hanging in there.
My family has been a force. I think my 95-year-old mother is probably the most dynamic 95-year-old on earth right now.
Trump looked good.
And I am so indebted to so many people. I think I remember a Churchill quote that he said when the RAF was fighting the Luftwaffe. He said that never have so many owed so much to so few. And I put myself, fortunately and unfortunately, into that category. And I said, never has one owed so much to so many that this superorganism of people that came to my support.
Way more thankful than, like I said, Brittany Griner. So, guys, it goes on for like almost another 5 minutes. So we'll cut it there. But, I mean, can we just point out the fact that in the first week, several from Israel have been freed? Last week, 6 hostages from Venezuela had been freed. This week, Mark Fogle from Russia had been freed. What was Joey's excuse here? Anybody know that? Like, what was his excuse? Again, I know I keep emphasizing this, but it's freaking remarkable everything that's happened in the past 3 weeks here. Many hostages have been released. Getting deals done in the Middle East. Figuring out illegal immigration. Figuring out our upcoming tax stuff because that's going to expire soon. Best president ever. I keep saying it, and I mean it, and I mean it. So that's great news. And Mark, it's glad to have you back on American soil, my friend. I say don't leave again because we can't afford to lose you, sir. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance is also working hard. He has to keep up with Trump, potentially the next president of the United States. Vice President J.D. Vance meets with world leaders in France, which I like. I'm glad Trump didn't go over there. I'm glad he sent Vice President J.D. Vance instead. Look, J.D. is great. He's a good talker. His wife is absolutely just beautiful. And they're very good at conversing and, showing people a good time. J.D.'s great. J.D. Vance and his family spent the day in France where Vance met with world leaders and delivered remarks at the Artificial Intelligence Summit. And I do have a clip here in a moment. In his remarks, Vance portrayed the United States as a global leader of one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations. This administration will continue to ensure that American AI technology continues to be the gold standard worldwide. And he said the partner of choice for others, foreign countries, and certainly businesses as they expand their own use of AI. And now you're kind of seeing the race for AI, very similar to how you saw the race for going to the moon, whether you think we went or not. The race is still there nonetheless. And forgive me, I thought I did post a video. I guess I didn't. He talked about artificial intelligence. And one thing I actually disagreed with was how he said artificial intelligence wasn't really going to take over people's jobs. I don't really agree with that, but here's JD nonetheless.
The kind introduction, and I want to start by thanking President Macron for hosting the event and, of course, for the lovely dinner last night. During the dinner, President Macron looked at me and asked if I would like to speak, and I said, Mr. President, I'm here for the good company and free wine, but I have to earn my keep today. And I, of course, want to thank Prime Minister Modi for being here and for co-hosting the summit, for all of you for participating. And
they all like that joke. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't pull this stuff out of my, you know what? The guy's good. He's good. Look at all of them. Where are they? Look at that. That's probably the biggest smile this guy's given in 40 years. He's loving it. He's smiling. This guy's probably Russian for sure. Look at that. Russia, you don't smile. That is a smile.
For participating. And I'm not here this morning to talk about AI safety, which was the title of the conference a couple of years ago. I'm here to talk about AI opportunity. When conferences like this convene to discuss a cutting-edge technology, oftentimes I think our response is to be too self-conscious, too risk-averse. But never have I encountered a breakthrough in tech that so clearly calls us to do precisely the opposite. Now, our administration, the Trump administration, believes that AI will have countless revolutionary applications in economic innovation, job creation, national security, healthcare, free expression, and beyond. And to restrict its development now will not only unfairly benefit incumbents in the space, it would mean paralyzing one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations.
So he goes on for another 14 minutes there, folks. And we have a shortened show today, so we got to make sure we get to other news. Before we get to that, some of you are asking, Brad, how do you have so much energy in the morning? Brad, how are you have so much energy in the morning. Well, I'll tell you, folks, many of you know this. We are a morning show, and, well, we drink the good stuff. And have you ever heard of the most recent advertising scandal? Well, let me break it down for you, folks, because the CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovski, one of the greats, recently released an email from Inspire Brands and Dunkin' Donuts. The email explicitly states that right-wing culture is too polarizing, that Rumble is too polarizing. In other words, Dunkin' Donuts has a problem with right-wing culture and wants nothing to do with it or Rumble. Well, so here's the solution. Stop buying products that don't support you and start supporting brands that do support you. The compelling coffee brand that we drink here, folks. The coffee brand that we all need to get behind is Rumble's 1775 coffee, baby. For a limited time, Rumble's offering 2 bags. Again, this is one of my favorite offers they do. 2 bags of coffee and you get 1 free. When we're a morning show, all of you are in the chat. I know some of you don't drink coffee, but a lot of you do. We all have a cup together. You always know I'm drinking with you. You can even see the coffee. You can see it. I do it like mud, man. Mine's like molasses. For a limited time, Rumble's offering buy 2 bags of coffee, get 1 free. Go to 1775coffee.com and enter promo code Duncan to get this limited time deal. 2 bags, 1 free, man. I'm telling you. At the rate that we're going, doing 2 a days, it's going to be gone. There you go. Craig has it. 1775. Get your bag of morning crack. You're damn right. If you want to have the energy of Hunter Biden, then 1775 coffee is where it's at, baby. That's where it's at. So there you have it. Good meeting for JD Vance. And there's some photos here I want to show you guys. Here he is. Oh, he looks so handsome. And his wife's there. And you know, let's zoom in here. You think you guys deserve a little bit more of a look at that. Look at them. Look how happy he is. Nobody was smiling when Joey was around. Everybody's having a good time. Here he is smiling again. He's having a great time. Look at that. It's a little dark in here. Hold on one second, folks. I'm very unprofessional, but we got to turn up the lighting here. A little dark in here. Oh, look at that. Them and their family. Well, that's always good news. It's nice to see a family whose kids aren't doing crack cocaine off a dog's ass. That's always nice. Definitely different. Definitely different. Also nice to see a president that's actually working, correct? Trump is going, I mean, I almost want him to slow down, but I don't. My hat's on crooked. Who is going to tell me my hat's on crooked? Huh? Who is going to tell me? Okay, Karen said ironclad beer from a company in Pennsylvania. Is that what he's drinking? Nice. Okay. Look at you guys. You know exactly. You know what that can looks like. All right. Trump has blocked a reporter. Trump is duking it out with the media once again. From Oval Office over Gulf of America battle, AP says. I love this. I love when Trump gets in there. He puts on the gloves. He just starts, shadow boxing, just ready for them to come in. Bring them in, Pete. Bring them in. The White House blocked an Associated Press reporter from entering the Oval Office on Tuesday over the Associated Press refusal to use Gulf of America. The Associated Press said in a statement on Tuesday morning, the AP crafts a style book that many newsrooms across the world religiously adhere to. For example, the AP style guide recommends using gender-affirming care. Oh, God, here we go. To describe transgender surgeries, hormones, and puberty blockers. Isn't that insane? Gender-affirming care. Really, all that is just almost like a confirmation bias. Can you confirm to me, like they will go to anywhere to find somebody that's going to confirm the fact that they're a woman when in reality they're actually a biological male or vice versa. We have here, even when discussing minors, and to use the phrase pregnant people. Does that not tell you how off the rocker the Associated Press is? They think this is how insane we've allowed things to get. And that's why we got to bring order back to the United States, and Trump's doing it. They think, Democrats and progressives think that men can get pregnant. This is how stupid some people are. It is a remarkable thing. It really is. And people seeking abortions to describe women seeking to abort their unborn babies. Recently, the AP made the decision not to adhere to President Donald Trump. So look at this. Our updated transgender topical guide. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. We recommend avoiding the vague and politicized term to describe cisgender women or others who object to the inclusion of transgender women in women's spaces. And then they wonder why nobody reads their crap, right? Then they wonder why nobody takes them seriously. They don't care. They'll lose millions over this. They don't care. It's not about losing money. It's about pushing an agenda. They will drive somebody's company into the ground just to push their agenda, their narrative. And they'll lie about it too. They'll completely fabricate stuff. They'll make stuff up just so they can push their grimy ass narrative. And I think this will come to an end because nobody's going to be shelling out the money for them, right? Maybe Soros will. But in terms of us taxpayer dollars continuing to go to them, well, that's been cut off by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And we covered it last night. Mexico, as well as other countries and international bodies, do not have to recognize the name change, the AP statement said. The Gulf of Mexico has carried that name for more than 400 years. The Associated Press will refer to it by its original name while acknowledging the new name Trump has chosen. As a global news agency that disseminates news around the world, the AP must ensure that place names and geography are easily recognizable to all audiences. Things change. It's Gulf of America now. What, is Mexico going to take it? We could take over. If we wanted to go back to colonize places again, we could. We just don't do it. And I don't think we should. It's not an advertisement to do it. But I mean, if we wanted to take over places, we could just do it. That's why we just took over Gulf of America, baby. It's ours. I don't know why it's Mexico's. What do? They don't do anything. I mean, their whole country is just completely corrupt. I mean, one could say the same thing about the United States, right? Based on what we're finding out from Elon Musk and Donald Trump. The spending that Democrats have been doing, bonkers. Well, that leads me to my next story here. And we did cover it the last couple of days, and we're going to continue to cover it because, like I said, I was told I was lying. I was told that I'm a conspiracy theorist for talking about this. So Trump fires 4 over luxury hotel payments for illegal migrants. Boom, baby! You're fired! Get out of here. You know Trump had them come in one at a time, right? Because he didn't want to do the firing in mass. Pete, bring them in one by one. I want to do it old school like I'm on The Apprentice. I want that nostalgia feeling again. 1 second, let me get behind the Resolute desk. Hold on. Everything's good. Bring them in. You're fired. Right? They didn't even get through the door before he's like, you're fired. I'm sorry. It's too quick. I was too excited. Pete, next one. You're fired. Ah, shit. Hold on, Pete. I'm not ready. I'm too excited. I'm too excited. They're getting in too quick. Hold on. I'll close my eyes so I don't know. You're fired. Ah, shit. I'm sorry. I have a good time with you guys. I'm sorry, okay? Hey, so sue me. I love Trump so much. Here we go. The Department of Homeland Security fired 4 FEMA employees who the agency said undercut the directives of President Donald Trump to house illegal immigrants in luxury hotels in New York City. How about not just firing them, but also, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. So I'm not the only one. How about not just firing them, but I want some sort of fine and penalty. How about that? Effective immediately. You guys are cracking me up. Thank you, CC and Duke. I appreciate that we have some people in here that thought it was funny. Effective immediately, FEMA is terminating the employment of 4 individuals for circumventing leadership to unilaterally make egregious payments for luxury New York City hotels for migrants. The agency said in a statement, under President Trump and Secretary Noem's leadership, DHS will not sit idly and allow deep state activists to undermine the will and the safety of the American people. Thank you. We're back to common sense, folks. It's amazing. You guys, I have to take a pause when I read things like this because it's such a breath of fresh air that I want to take hold of the moment and just really let it sink in that we are back, baby. It still seems too much like a dream. You know, when somebody tries to sell you something that's too good to be true? Whenever I keep getting all this good news, and I know I shouldn't think this, but I can't help it because we've been in crap for 4 years, that like I'm living in a dream of going, am I really hearing and reading what I'm reading and hearing? It's like we're back, you know? And we are. The news comes after Elon Musk said on Monday that the Department of Government efficiency, Doge, discovered that FEMA spent nearly $60 million last week. And I keep bringing it up, one, because this is an update, and two, like I said, I'm tired of these libs, these snowflakes, these progressives saying that I'm lying about stuff, when in actuality, all I do is I just bring the receipts in the news. If you notice, I don't really give my opinion all that much. You could kind of guess my opinion, right? It's pretty obvious. I bring things out that I think everybody can get behind. Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't harbor criminals in the United States of America that murdered people and raped children. It's probably something I think a lot of people can get behind. But remember, I said this last night, in the state of California, you can't say that. When I say that I can lose my job by saying that we should remove criminals who had murdered and raped people, I mean that. I am so freaking serious, it is head spinning. But I say it anyways because it needs to be said. If I lost my career over that, it's insane. But it's possible. Possible. More updates here. More updates here. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, again, hit that like button, folks. It really does help. I wouldn't ask you to do it. I wouldn't waste your time if it really didn't help us, but it does. It actually pushes the algorithm to send our videos out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. So we got some updates here. Do you remember that huge spy balloon, that Chinese spy balloon that left mainland China, flew all the way across the United States, and Joey decided to finally shoot it out of the air over the Atlantic? And his reasoning for waiting till it got all its intelligence and shooting it down over the Atlantic, he didn't want to harm anybody. Because the idiot doesn't know that the vast majority of America is completely barren. You could shoot it down wherever you would like and you wouldn't hit it freaking anything. You would hit dirt. But here we go. We got updates on this, folks. A Chinese spy balloon caused alarm after it flew across the United States 2 years ago, likely collecting data on millions of Americans, but a new report points to American technology in the device rather than Chinese surveillance tech. According to a new report by Newsweek, the 200-foot craft contained satellite communication modules and sensors from multiple U.S. companies, potentially enabling significant data collection on American infrastructure. Now, that doesn't mean it's not Chinese. It doesn't mean that the Chinese didn't do it. Maybe they just used American tech to do it. Sources told Newsweek, we'll find out here, the technology matches that in a patent awarded in 2022 to a scientist at the Chinese Academy of Sciences Aerospace Information Innovation Research Institute in Beijing. What the hell kind of name is this? This is like some Michael Scott from The Office name. Chinese Academy of Sciences Aerospace Information Innovation Research Institute in Beijing, which has links to Chinese military and its industrial defense base. Oh, shocker. The patent included a short burst messaging module called Iridium 9602, made by Iridium. Well, that's a novel name, isn't it? That was clever. A global satellite communications provider based in McLean, Virginia. I've actually been there before. I used to go to McLean Church. And coincidentally, less than 5 miles from CIA headquarters. Is it a coincidence? The patent was titled a high altitude balloon safety control and positioning recovery device and method. Oh, what is it? Yeah, recovering our information. That's what it's doing. The analysis of the material recovered from the balloon showed that it had incorporated a communication system as well as a technology from 4 other U.S. companies and at least 1 Swiss company, the source said. A Chinese company would not have given them full SATCOM coverage over the U.S., a former intelligence employee told Newsweek. The balloon contained communications from American companies, Texas Instruments, Omega Engineering, blah, blah, blah. In response, they admitted to having partners in China, but declined to identify them, claiming that the tech could have been obtained on resale markets. Yeah, well, they declined to identify them because we all know it's a Chinese military. It's a CCP. Come on. We certainly don't condone our radios or our modules ending up and being used in ways they shouldn't be. Newsweek gained access to a 75-page technological review of the balloon, blah, 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 where basically they just tried to take all your data. That's really what all this is saying. So that's some updates for you. It only took 2 years. It's weird how 2 years it took them to find this out, when you can look at the damn craft alone and see, oh yeah, the name there. Oh, weird. And just let them know. You want to know why this is coming out? It's because Donald Trump's in office. That's why. That's why it's coming out. You tell me Joey couldn't do it? Well, maybe he couldn't. Joey can't do a lot of crap, but what he could do, you want to know what Joey was really good at? Crap in his pants. That's what he's really good at. And now Jill gets to change all his diapers. PBS confirms the closure of its DEI office. Big news. Big news. A lot of people are closing their DEI offices, folks. I'm telling you, the culture is shifting. We might actually get back to normal and get normal movies again. Got some Disney news coming up, I believe, here in just a moment. Public Broadcasting Service confirmed it has closed its DEI office following President Donald Trump's executive orders to remove DEI from the federal government. Thank God. In a statement from PBS spokesperson, The Hollywood Reporter, the publicly funded nonprofit organization's rep said, in order to best ensure we are in compliance with President's executive order around diversity, equity, and inclusion, we have closed our DEI office, which is going to save us a lot of money. It's going to save us a lot of money. And I'm down, even if it's $1 million, I'm stoked about saving money. It's a bunch of foo-foo. All this, it's not about DEI. Truthfully, on its foundation, DEI is fine. You should have diversity of thought. You should have equity and inclusion, right? You should want to bring in people and include people with diverse opinions. So like I said, on its foundation, you guys, DEI is fine. I actually don't have an issue with it, as long as it's not based on race and ethnicity and gender. I just care about how your noggin's working, because it's the noggin that's going to create good ideas, that's going to make America great, and it's out going to compete our enemies. It's not that difficult. But what they did was the left took hold of DEI, made it about race, because the Democrat Party has always been about race, hence why they were the party of slavery, the party of the Klan, the party of anti-civil rights, all that stuff. And they haven't changed one bit. And what they did was they illegally shafted other people like white people and Asian people and uplifted black people and Asian people. Now, Brad, oh, how could you be against uplifting black people and Asian people? I'm not. But when it's at the sacrifice of somebody else because somebody else ended up being white and Asian, I don't think that's right. In the same way, I don't think that you should exclude black people and uplift white people and Asian people just based on their race. It goes all directions. As many of you know here, I know I'm beating a dead horse with this, but I have to say it because the left tried to take my stuff out of context. I don't care about your race. We have a lot of ethnicities in here. Could give two bleeps what you look like. So you also have Disney here, though. Disney walks back DEI initiatives, changes disclaimers on classic films. Thank God we're coming back to normal. Disney has made noticeable changes on their DEI initiatives per an internal memo and multiple sources who confirmed it with Axios. I think what's happening here is not just because of Donald Trump, but also I think a lot of this money is going to stop funneling, and they know it. So they got to change. To start with, the company sent out an internal memo from the Chief Human Resources Officer detailing some of the upcoming changes. This includes how the company plans to replace their current DEI performance factor that used to evaluate executive compensation, the outlet noted, with a new talent strategy. While the new performance measurement does keep some elements of diversity and inclusion performance indicator, it more heavily focuses on how values contribute to success. How about family values? How about the way that Disney used to portray things? How about that? How about we bring that normalcy back once again, where you can leave your kids in front of a TV screen without being all freaking confused and everything coming to dinner at the table, going, Daddy, guess what? And you're a boy. Daddy, guess what? I'm a female. Now, sometimes they do say stuff like that without being indoctrinated on the TV screen. But, you get what I'm saying here, folks. You get what I'm saying. I appreciate you guys keeping me on time. God bless you. This is why we have such a great community here. This is why we got a great community. Because you're right, I do have a meeting, but let me do one more thing really quick, okay? Just one more thing, okay? I love you guys. I want to hang out with you, but you're right. I was supposed to leave 3 minutes ago. Not like leave my house, but I'll just get dressed really, really fast because I got to put on like a suit and stuff. Disney will also include ditching the Reimagine Tomorrow initiative, which was used to highlight stories and talent from underrepresented communities. It always has to be underrepresented communities. It's like, can we just do normal stories here? Travis Cobb, you got to go, Brad. See you tonight. No, I'm not done yet. Hold on. Stop it. We got to do this one. God bless them for what they've done exposing. Jim Jordan defends Musk's cost-cutting efforts at Doge, getting the recognition he deserves. I love it. That's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to highlight Doge because they're doing amazing things, folks. Thank you so much for keeping me accountable. Thank you for understanding that I got to get out of here. Most likely we will be back again 3:30, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today for another hour-long episode of the Bald Brad Show, folks, when we will bring the energy for you. Appreciate everybody that donated today. Thank you everybody that's a member over at YouTube and Rumble. Thank you to everybody that's watching on X. just always great hanging out with all you fine patriots. I hope you have a lovely day. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for everybody around the world. And folks, I'll see you later today here on the Bob Brat Show. Take care, patriots.